newsok.com. Barry Tramel sitting in. A familiar face stopped by the office this week. Jason White was good enough to join us for a few minutes. Jason, thanks for coming by.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, let me ask you, give people an update. What have you been up to on the business side of the world?
Just been extremely busy. Still got the athletes put on 104th and Southwestern, and then I got the Jason White store divided, located inside Penn Square Mall, and also located inside of 9 of the Metro Homelands supermarkets. And then the newest venture is the St. Anthony Your Care Clinic, which is a small medical clinic located also inside Homeland next to the pharmacies.
Well, you mentioned this is your busy time of the year. I guess football drives the economy to a certain extent.
It sure does. You can always tell when the season rolls around, the sales pick up. You got to keep a lot more stuff in stock.
Well, are you enjoying the business side of things? 4 years since your football career, competition every autumn, every Saturday you had competition, a different kind of competition now.
Right, it's similar to football. I don't think there's not as much competition, in the business, but it's very similar to football in the fact that you do have your competitors, your other stores that try to beat your prices, or you try to have certain products that they don't have. So there's still competition, and I think that's what attracts me to the business world is there's still that competition there, and that's one thing that I don't really want to lose is that competition, because that's something I've thrived on my entire life.
You're not all money driven. You mentioned you're not going to Seattle on Saturday because you've got a charity appearance to make. You still enjoy making the public appearances for a variety of causes?
I do. I enjoy it. Anytime I can give back to the community, especially for charities, I try to do as much as I can do. This Saturday, actually doing a deal at Thunderbird Lake with Homeland and a charity that they're responsible for. So I enjoy doing the charity work, and also I enjoyed helping other businesses out there promote their business.
You still follow the Sooners, of course, though. I wrote a column Sunday that said, "Hey, this team reminds me of '03. Biggest similarities at the quarterback position. Sam Bradford, big, tall, deep throwing quarterback, just like yourself. Do you see similarities between yourself and Sam?"
I do see similarities. I think one thing that sticks out to me with Sam is the way he manages the game. He's very calm. He never really gets rattled. As you see on this past Saturday, he threw 2 interceptions, but he kept plugging away, and turned out to have a great day. So when you see things like that from a young quarterback, you could tell that they're very mature. But another thing I see that Sam's very good at is, he puts the ball in places the receivers still have a chance to make a play. Instead of just catching the ball and maybe getting 5 or 10 yards, Sam puts it in a place where they can keep running without missing a step, and that's huge from the quarterback.
What do you like about this team? 03 off to a good start, 2-0 play at Washington Saturday. What do you like about these 08 Sooners?
I think they're very mature up front, and I think that's huge. It's important, especially for the quarterback. That's one thing that I always thrived on, is taking care of the offensive line, because that's where all your plays start from. So I think they're mature up front. I think you got a very mature quarterback, very good quarterback. And you got 3 good running backs in the backfield, and then you go out to your receivers, and you got a ton of receivers that can all make plays. Got a great tight end. You've got a kid that came in last week and really showed aspects of Mark Clayton in a way. So I think the offensive side of the ball, you've got a lot of great potential there. And as long as they keep continuing to get better every week, I think they'll be very good. Now the defensive side of the ball, like I said, the front 4, they're all big and strong, and then you got your linebackers, and like I said, Travis Lewis looks a lot like Teddy Lehman in the fact that he's always around the ball wherever the ball's at. So, and that's the way Teddy was. Anytime the ball was, if it might have been 50 yards down the field, Teddy was somewhere in the vicinity, whether he was running to catch or whatever. But I think you got a good secondary, good group of linebackers. So I think this team's got a great shot at being real good.
Last question. The Jason White Sooners, 03 and 04, you guys lost no true road games. You won every road game you played. Oklahoma last year struggled on the road. This year they go to Seattle for their first road game. What's the key to winning on the road?
I think the key for the Sooners this week to win on the road is, you got to keep that confidence you got from last week. You see the offense come out last week with the no huddle the first 2 series and ran it to perfection. Went down and scored twice, and just little things like that bring in the confidence. And you have to take that confidence from last week's game, and even though you're going on the road, transfer it to this week's game. So I think if they go in there with confident that they know their plays, they've had a good week of practice, I think they'll be great. But the main thing on road games is, don't turn the ball over and don't have stupid penalties. Like last week, there's a lot of penalties that were after the play was over, and those penalties like that is going to get you beat on a close game or even a road game.
All right, Jason, thanks for coming by. Good stuff as always. Stay tuned for more Oklahoma football coverage on newsok.com.